everyone. I hope traders and investors alike were green on Friday. So we have another big week coming in. Huge earnings this week. We do have some good data coming out. It's also the week after options expiration, so get a fresh start there. So we also may see some chop tomorrow. There could be a little bit of moving around that the market makers may have to do to finish up options expiration. And we have names like Microsoft. I mean, huge names. We covered them in a short video earlier. So let's just get right into the charts and we'll talk about, because a lot of our names are reporting earnings. We'll talk about their earnings and what they're doing or what we've seen in their earnings if they've reported already as we get to the chart. We can see our put to call ratio has pulled back to 89, so we're in the neutral zone. The oscillators for the NASDAQ are negative 10, plenty of room to move in either direction. New York Stock Exchange, once again, negative 10, plenty of room to move in either direction. The S&P 500 on the weekly, so we had a low close candle last week on the weekly. It's just a spinning top, some indecision, still holding that support. Would have preferred to have seen a candle close on the high. Breath chart moving lower. We've talked about that bearish divergence, so we could be seeing some weakness coming here, and earnings could give it to us as well. So we can see our rates look like they're primed for a move higher there. The dollar is trading in between the 9 and 20 on the daily. VIX has moved right into a previous level of support, trying to push back up. You can see we pushed back up into the 9 or gapped up into the 9 on Friday and got slammed back down. We have bounced there before, so we could bounce here again. Crude, an up day on Friday, not very pretty there. We need to clear this 20 if we're going to move back up. We could come back down and finish filling that gap. That weekly 50 or daily 50 has a lot to do with it. Apple daily. So we did close above the 9 here. A lot of other charts we didn't close above the 9, so we're sitting right on that daily 9. Where will we open tomorrow? Very tight action there intraday, and we can see that in the candle closed just below the opening. A gold, big move down, taking out this support level here that we broke out of. So we're losing this pivot area that we broke out of with a bearish engulfing closing below that. It's not really a bearish engulfing because this candle actually gapped a little lower than that candle body or candle range. So it's definitely not textbook, but it is a lot of bearish sentiment there to the downside. Our advanced decline lines have lost a 9, trying to turn lower. AI, this is one we've done a short on when we're watching. Breaking below this volume profile, we moved right into it. So below Friday's candle close, we're bearish. That's what we're looking for there. Or will we get a bounce off that support level? AMC, not much happening there. Nothing to talk about. Nothing to see. AMC daily. AMD, pretty tight action on Friday, but we did trend lower there. Amazon, big breakout on Friday, broke out on volume. That daily 200 needs to be cleared. There's a level on the weekly we're going to look at here in a minute. You can see ARK breaking to the downside, giving us this little hammer candle. So we could try to make a move back up to that daily 9 or like a retest of the breakout point for a move lower. See where we go tomorrow. You see Abby, zoom this chart out. We're heading right back up into this double top area. Decent move on Wednesday and Thursday. Gap up on Friday. Did close on the lower end close below the opening. AMD trending lower there. Seeing a lot of weakness in AMD as well. There's some other semis. NVIDIA stronger. Basically, it's a better place to put your money right now. You can see AMD closed below the weekly 9 as well. We were looking for that flag there. We lost that. Affirm just stuck in a maze of moving averages. Affirm intraday, trying to give you a kind of a head and shoulders there on the 15. Didn't have time to break lower. Ally, we have a rounded top here at the 50, breaking down below that 20, below your 20-day, below Friday's close. We're bearish. They're just the regionals, the smaller banks, the earnings were terrible. Here's a look at the big breakout on Amazon. Big move higher. Very strong, showed a ton of relative strength Friday in this market. Here's Amazon on the weekly. That's your weekly 50. That is resistance. You can see Apple. Apple, you have trying to push up here. We did close on a low. I would prefer, even if such a small doji, I would have preferred to have seen that candle to be a high close candle, which it is not. Still holding support. Boeing gap down, filled the gap, and looks like now it wants to roll over. I would draw this line out, breaking, can play it down to here, breaking below those candles, looking for a move down into that trend line right there. Bitcoin bearish engulfing to the downside. If we look at the daily, so we got today's candle. So we moved into a key level of support. Give us a bullish Harami right now. No action. Bullish above the wick on that bullish Harami. Bearish below that key support level. Boeing, you can see the big move down Friday and then chop sideways. Citibank pull right back into the 9. You can see the bulls took control, moved the candle down. The bears took control, moved the candle down. The bulls come back in and close the candle back on above the opening. Sign of strength. CVX, which reports Friday, is still holding the support level, trying to hold this gap. We need to hold that. We need to get back above this daily 9 here. You can see Chevron intraday, huge move down, fail at that 15-minute 200. Charge point, got this inverted cup and handle. We got to break out the retest of the trend line. Wants to it wants to move lower, but they keep coming for it, trying to take it back above that 9. I'd be careful with that name. Coke, so we got a safety name, reports tomorrow, got a really nice chart, trading with a large cup. We could easily pull back and put in a handle, or will we break out and run here with a lot of value names trying to break out? This one could be the next, especially with earnings tomorrow. Coin still trading on that island, but we are breaking down below it. See if we can move down to the lower part. Looks like actually the island's been filled. All right, so we're below your daily 200 there. Wants to move lower. So you got XLP, got consumer staples, big breakout on Friday. You can see we're respecting the 9, moving higher. We got a very good MACD. Got our duckbill here. Just a little pattern we look for. We need that to open up. Need to definitely keep an eye on consumer staples. Delta Airlines right back into this trend line. So we keep trying to push. Big fail at the 50, pull back in. See if we can get a bounce there, or we lose that trend line. Bearish below your daily 20. DraftKings, big breakout there. We've been watching that one, been calling it out in the Discord. Lily, we were looking for this big flag break here. Really nice move up there on Friday. Breakout on Thursday, big move on Friday. XLE, we got a possible head and shoulders here. It's nothing textbook about it, but we got this gap up. You can start to see kind of a slight shoulder, slight head. Will we finish forming it? Just something to keep an eye on there. Definitely seeing some weakness in the energy names. Hopefully Chevron and ExxonMobil can report good on Friday. So Google. So we've seen some resistance levels there. We are trading right in between the 9 and 20. We need to get out of that area. So we got Goldman Sachs. Goldman Sachs is right here. This is your daily 200, your daily 50, your daily 9. Broke above all 3 daily moving averages. All 4, your 20s down there as well on the way up. Your MACD's crossing the 0 line. See if we can get a move higher on that one. IWM intraday, you see the big move down on Friday, recovery, pushed it right back up. Intel, this is another chip name breaking down. We got a really nice move to the upside. It just couldn't continue any higher. Not my favorite name to trade, but when the chart's right, the chart's right. You can see Qs here trading right in between the 9 and 20, below the daily 9, above that daily 20. Some tough action here on intraday. You can see the move down and then the big push back up on Friday. A fail at the 15-minute 200, move lower, and the 15-minute 50 became support. Always know where your 15-minute 200 and your 15-minute 50 are. Very important levels. Qs flagging in on the weekly. JP Morgan, nice flag here, very extended, but it's actually hanging out, flagging in, letting that daily 9 catch up. The MACD still looks great there. Definitely keeping an eye on this one for the move higher. Watch your daily 200 for resistance. Lockheed Martin, we've covered that pattern with 2 videos. Moderna, not much happening here. I don't like that action. I don't like the way it's kind of flagging, but it's flagging slanting lower. I don't like that. I prefer it be bull flagging. It looks like a bull flag. I'd rather it be angled up against the prevailing trend and to give me a bear flag. You can see Moderna here, some really tight action, need to get above that 15-minute 200. Mara breaking down. You can see the strong bearish candles here, strong move lower, strong close there, losing the MACD. You got Merck breaking up out of a bull flag there as well, another safety name. Meta breaking down here below the, looks like we may have closed back above that daily 20, but we're still below that daily 9 coming into earnings and moving. We're starting to see a breakdown, but it's been a lot of relative strength, also move up there, so it could use a breather. You can see Meta intraday, nice push up there as well. It's not a lot of range in the candle. Microsoft breaking down, holding the daily 20 below the daily 9. We're seeing that in a lot of tech names. So if we get, earnings Tuesday, they come in great. It'll front run a lot of stocks. If they come in bad, it's going to give us some short opportunities on a lot of stocks. And of course, trade them, into earnings, trade them after earnings, and trade them during the actual earnings report. It's the safest way to trade earnings because you never know the reaction. No matter the numbers, you never know the reaction. Microsoft intraday, decent move up here. Break kind of just like it hit a brick wall here and traded sideways. Microsoft flagging. So we've closed lower the last 2 weeks, but we are flagging, waiting on that daily 9 to catch up. NVIDIA trying to hold a daily 9 there. NVIDIA intraday, you can see nice move up. Small move lower, tried to recover, kind of hit a brick wall, and we just chopped sideways. And that's what a lot of the market did. You can see NVIDIA failed breakout of a bull flag on the weekly. We did close back below the trend line. NASDAQ, same thing, trading right in between the 9 and the 20 on the daily. Netflix gap down, recovering. Looks like it barely closed back above that 50-day. Above this 50-day, look for a move up into your daily 9 and 20. Pendleton got this tower top. We were moving lower out of that tower top as expected. Here's Procter & Gamble with that big gap up on Friday, but it looks so this nice move on volume, but you can see the bears come back in and brought that candle back down. So it's very shooting starish there. This is all about it's nothing without confirmation. Confirmation is where is the candle going to open tomorrow. Opening lower will give us a shooting star. Opening up and moving below that candle. Qs, that weekly, so I'm sorry, your monthly 20 is resistance right now. That needs to be cleared. You can see Roblox gap down, struggling with your daily 50 there. Roku breaking down, very tough action, finally breaking out of that. SPX daily, right there on that daily 9, losing the MACD. The diamond, the Dow Jones, closed below the daily 9 for the second day in a row. You can see we remain below this trend line. You extend that trend line out, that is your resistance level right now. You can see SPY on the weekly, closed below this resistance level. We did have a low close candle last week on SPY's weekly. Definitely not a sign of strength. Closed right on that daily 9. So on the monthly chart, we remain on the SPY, or we remain above that 20 on the monthly there. So that's also a good sign. Not for the Qs, obviously, but for the SPY, showing a little bit of strength. Closed right there on the 9, as you can see. Kind of looking cup and handle-ish here, or cup. If you draw it out, maybe like a weird V bottom. Not really. And so we got this big stupid candle here, which is a false print, kind of ruined our chart. So that chart's out of commission for 5 days. It is what it is. Square bouncing off of support right back into that trend line. You can watch that trend line. Starbucks breaking up out of a flag here. Actually lost a 9 and recovered, took it back. See where the Mars candle opens. Look for resistance at the top of your flagpole. Tesla intraday pretty tight on Friday as well. Got a little bit of bad news coming there on the charts. Breaking lower here on XLK. Tesla double top on the weekly, confirmed, closed below our neckline in the double top. So we're looking for a move lower on Tesla as long as we open up and remain out of that double top. We can see we got a gap above us, but we also got some gaps here below us. So trading on a small island right now, see where Tesla wants to go with it. The dollar on the weekly. So we have broken out of this. It's very rough in our head and shoulders pattern. We are still up here around the support or the actual neckline, the resistance level. See SMH breaking down, barely holding that 50 there on the daily. Walmart has this nice little cup here. So we broke out of this cup, moved up. It's almost like a cup with an extended handle, but we got a very small cup here we broke out of on Friday. Got a nice MACD here, got a little eyeball, looking for that bird bill, goose bill to open up. XL left, nice flag here, flagging into your daily 9. We need to get above this 250 for a move higher. ExxonMobil going into earnings on Friday, still trading in that contraction pattern. It's not perfect. We'd like to see the big candle down here. We got the big candle here, but the rest of those candles are still trading within that range. Need to break out of that pattern. TLT, so this is the bonds. Bonds are looking pretty weak here, just not showing any strength. Don't look like they really want to crash, but they don't look like they want to push either. IWM weekly, not the greatest setup here. So we tried to push right back into, well, we did push right back into your weekly moving averages. The bears were able to close below. The bulls still give us a high close candle on the weekly, but the bears were able to pull it back down. And you can see the IWM here trading in a rising wedge. And that concludes our video for today. I hope you find this helpful, and I will see you in the trading room.